Honorable Men Discord, Cancerous Braids. Let's talk about it. All right, fellas, I'm just going to get straight to it. Tell your mother, your sisters, your auntie, your niece, your girlfriend, your wife, your baby mama, whatever that female is to you, let them know that there's been a major report that I just discovered yesterday, and that is that some or if not most of the synthetic hair used for braids contain lead, dangerous lead, cancerous causing lead. Now, before I get to that news report, if you haven't seen it already, I just want to educate some of you all on the history of the braids. Why? Because why not know? It's kind of good to know why the women in our lives use braids and the history behind it. So I just wanted to post up this picture to the side of me of a young lady with braids, and as you can see, there's various women with braids on the side of me. So I just want to give them their just due, because the braids look good, right? Let me just show you one clip that I queued up.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? How would they know?
All right, so I just wanted to give women their just due that wear braids. But here's a quick clip that I found on the history of braids. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let me give credit to Pack Smarter, Not Harder. No, I'm sorry. Now This Impact Network. So Now This Impact Network did this presentation on braids. I'm not going to play the entire thing. If you want to see the entire thing, by all means, go to Now This Impact. It's an 8-minute video. I'm going to play roughly like maybe 2 minutes of it so we could get a little history on the background of braids. I found it fairly interesting. So I'll play this and I'm going to the news report.
Braids are not just a hairstyle for many women. They tell a story that has completely shaped entire cultures for thousands of years. And for many Black women, that story has often become a source of controversy and celebration alike. To understand how braids became so rooted in Black hair culture, let's go back to where it all began: Africa. In 15th century West Africa, hair was an identifier. It was a way to distinguish a person's age, religion, rank, marital status, and even family groups. And braids played a big part in that, and not just on an individual level. Since intricate braiding styles often took hours or even days to complete, it was a time of bonding and community between women. During the slave trade, everything changed. As Africans were brought to the New World, their heads were often shaved for sanitary reasons. Africans not only lost their hair, but a part of their identity. Though braids weren't completely lost during slavery, many enslaved Africans started braiding their hair once again as a way to stay connected to their culture and keep their hair neat and tidy while working on plantations. Without the products and treatments typically used in Africa, Africans relied on bacon grease, butter, and kerosene instead of conditioners and cleaners. But this was just a small example of a larger sentiment that revolved around traditional African hairstyles. As slavery ended, Black women in America opted for straight hair, or good hair.
So I just have to point out that I grew up in a household with sisters, so I know about the hot comb. That thing weighed like 50 pounds, and I don't know how my sisters endured using a hot comb, but I'm very familiar with a hot comb. I don't know if women still use things like that now, but wow. Now back to the video.
Conforming to a European standard of beauty. Good hair was a perceived doorway to opportunity, and Black women with straight hair were considered better adjusted or more accepted by their white counterparts. 1960s, race relations were on the rise, and Black activists and artists alike turned to their hair as a form of expression during the Black Power.
Have to pause it again. I actually like afros. I like afros. I like afros. Why I paused the video to say that, I don't know why, but I like how afros look.
Natural hair was making a comeback, and braids were at the forefront of this return. Cicely Tyson became the first woman to wear cornrows on television in East Side, West Side. Some say she sparked a natural hair movement, and Black women started to follow suit. Hair was no longer associated as a source of shame, but a symbol of celebration. And the world started to notice. In 1979, Bo Derek made headlines by sporting cornrows in the movie 10. She was given full credit for the look, and it wasn't long before cornrows were known as bow braids and began taking over the mainstream hair market.
Full credit for the look. Now, obviously this video is about caution for those women that are out there with braids because, again, there's lead in the synthetic braids. But how did I stumble upon this, which will turn my video a little political? Does this sound familiar? All right. So this woman wears braids in a movie, and now they're branding it. She's like the founder of the braids. All right. But I digress. Let's continue. Shaking my head, by the way.
People magazine called it a cross-cultural craze and a beauty store bonanza, while the same look on a Black person was called ghetto or unpretty. In the workplace, braids were frowned upon, and many women lost their jobs over the hairstyle. Thousands of cases like this popped up. Employers argued that this style did not fit the corporate image. They were afraid of the statement they thought braids made. They didn't understand them, and so they banned them. But for every step back, there was also a step forward. And no one knows that better than Sergeant Jasmine Jacobs, who spearheaded the White House petition to overturn the ban on natural hairstyles in the military. Who would have known that an Army girl can fight, but can't do it with her hair twisted? So what about me, where I'm at? No. What's wrong with what I have?
Your braids would be considered like a style because like they're parted in the middle and then like going out to the sides. Your braids had to go straight back. I remember asking my first sergeant what I was supposed to do with my hair if these regulations go into effect, and she told me to get a wig. But the wording in the regulation is that the wig has to mimic your natural texture, but you've outlawed my natural textures.
Wow.
So you really just want my hair to be straight. Like, just say that.
Yeah.
We're all friends here.
Here's how it went down.
I do not want to play this entire video. As I mentioned, I'm into it by 4 minutes. I just wanted to give a little bit of history on the braids for those who care to know a little bit about the history. But again, this is a very serious matter concerning the braids. So let me get to the news report. And I have to give credit to Click on Detroit Local 4 News for this report on the lead found in synthetic hair. So let's get right to it.
All right, thanks, Timon. New Consumer Report investigation tonight raising some concerns about synthetic braiding hair, something used by countless people, especially Black people, including children. Arun Walker here tonight with what CR tested and also those results.
Braided hairstyles can be a go-to hairstyle for a lot of people, but testing found potentially dangerous chemicals, including cancer-causing substances in 100% of the hair samples that it tested. So what does this mean for you? We break down the concerning findings and have tips.
I'm sorry, am I the only person that finds it difficult to hear when people say things like worn by Black people? I don't know why that just, it kind of makes my eyes twitch a little bit. Maybe it's just me. If I'm the only one, then please let me know in the comments. It just doesn't sound right. I know, I guess there's only so many ways of conveying that, but it just makes my eye twitch a little bit. Back to the report.
On how to stay safe. For many people, braided hairstyles are more than just fashion. They're a time-tested tradition that makes hair care easier.
I like to wear braids because it saves me time in the morning. They're convenient. You can just style it and just go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results? Very troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR's synthetic hair testing, says testing found lead in 90% of the products.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
And the risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, a standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat, and lungs. CR contacted all the...
Gentlemen, pause the video if you're watching this. And as I told you before in the intro, go run tell your mother, your sisters, or your sister, your girlfriend, your baby mama, your fiance, your wife. Let them know this is a serious matter. I know it's a prevalent thing within our community. Women love the braids. It does look good. Nothing's more important than your health. All right, so the look that you're looking to achieve is not more important than your health. So gentlemen, run out there and tell your loved ones. Let's continue.
For comment, only 2, Sensational and Magic Fingers, responded, both disagreeing with CR's test methodology. Hair Zone Sensational said, "We unequivocally stand by the safety of Sensational's products, and our company urges consumers to continue to confidently use Sensational products." Magic Fingers said, "We strongly stand by the safety of our products and the quality materials used to make them. If you use synthetic braids or if you install them, experts recommend the following safety precautions to reduce risk. 1, check for product recalls. 2, read labels carefully and limit how long you wear the style." If you've experienced reactions to synthetic braiding hair, Consumer Reports recommends talking to your doctor and consider filing a report with the FDA. I'm Rhonda Walker. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Rhonda. By the way, the QR code at the bottom of your screen is...
So yeah, I don't really know what the alternative is. I don't know if it's to wear your hair natural or to get the quote unquote real hair. I believe there's hair available that's donated by women, or I think you still have to pay for it. I really don't know how that works. But whatever the alternative is, gentlemen, I would advise you tell the women in your lives to look into it, because it's not worth continuing using something that has that high of a level of lead found in it. As you can see, at the bottom of this news report, it says 90% of synthetic braiding hair products. Lead found in 90%. That's a very extremely, they might as well say 100%. They might as well say 100% at that point. So this is very alarming. And I guess this information is better they find this out now than, later. It is later because women have been using braids for a very long time. But just think about those family members or friends that may have passed away from cancer. Imagine that was the cause, God forbid. But in any event, I hope this information is useful. And by all means, definitely share this episode, because I think everyone needs to be aware of this. But that's all I have for you. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.